Welcome back to the show. Well, it's a beautiful day, as I said off the top of the show, and I think when we have these beautiful days, some of the things that come to mind is not only getting out, but also doing some spring cleaning. And for those of us that have collections, and I have some collections, but probably on the smaller side, but if you have one of those larger collections, what do you do with it? Well, my next guest is going to help us get organized. Steve Gingras joins us. He is an organizational coach. Welcome back. Great to have you here. Is this a time for you, Steve, where you go to say to yourself, okay, it's time to sort of look around the house and see what I can sort of clean up and organize?
One of the things we did talk about before the show started then was DVDs, and just doing a quick, good old calculator thing. And I don't have really a ton of them then. It was almost $2,000 worth of DVDs. Really? And I'll bet you a lot of them I probably had bought and watched it once or half of it and then never looked at it again then. So it's just like, that's a lot of money tied up.
Oh yeah, and they're just piled up somewhere probably in your closet. They're not even on display. And that's why you brought this, right? Not only DVDs, I guess books is probably a big one for a lot of people,
right?
For
the 15 years I've been doing classes, the number one killer is books. And for some people, they just cannot get rid of them, including like even their high school textbooks. We'll see like, or they'll even say like, I can't get rid of my chemistry paper I did in grade 12 or something like that, because it's just like saying every 3 years I'll take a look at it and say, oh, that was kind of cool then.
Yeah, so why do people have such a hard time parting with something, just as simple as books and DVDs, do you think?
The thing is too, is almost like they cannot even like contemplate losing them. And I've had some clients like that too. And it's just like saying books were a part of my childhood, so I don't want to part with that. But as we said too, it's like you can come by and somebody could pop away one of those books and you would have no idea it was even gone there. And the thing is too, if I had many people that have taken my workshops there that actually use one of their spare bedrooms just as all this stuff goes in there. So it's just like, it's not freeing up space. And I'll say, there's nothing wrong with it, but you just got to understand, you're not going to have any room in your home.
Yeah, and it's funny because, we buy, bigger homes to have more space because we want more living space. And then a lot of people tend to fill up that living space with clutter.
Exactly.
Right? Then. Let's look at a couple of other things. First of all, you brought this mug and this cat. The mug's probably one of those ones where, I can tell you just from my experience being on television, right? People come on and you go to a convention or something and people give you things, and a mug is a big one, right?
One of the antique stores I went into and out of town here, basically right outside the door they have a metal shed where they just throw in the stuff for free, and that's just nothing but mugs. Like nobody, and then just like you'll go back there maybe a couple months later, they're all those mugs are still there.
Right. A lot of people love to collect too, and that's what this cat here represents. You have a friend who that's what they love, right?
We're talking like she probably might have 400 or 500. She said that actually in her work office in the government, then her cubicle is basically filled with nothing but cats there.
Really?
So it's
can you display those properly? Because if you're going to collect something like that, why keep it in a closet somewhere? Is there a proper way to display it?
Like if you look out here, this mini Bobby Hall collection there. It's just like when we were talking before the show, saying that it's got a place of honor where you can say like, okay, like somebody can walk in there and say, wow, that's kind of neat then looking at that, rather than just like saying, well, this is over here and that's in my bedroom, that's in my bathroom, that's in the basement or whatever like that. It's right there then. And it's something that you can walk in and it's eye-popping right away then. You can say, oh, that's cool.
Okay, yeah, but if I've got 400 cats, I mean, what am I going to do? You just don't have that many? Is that what we're trying to get
That's true. I've actually seen her starting to get rid of some of them too. But the thing is too, when you go into an antique store or whatever, like where people are dropping things off, then you'll see knickknacks everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And then the person that likes something like a cat will pick up every knickknack cat because they're getting them for 50 cents each.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. This was an interesting one because, I mean, these used to be so incredibly popular, and I think people held on to them because they thought they were going to be, very valuable at some point.
Exactly. I went dumpster hopping in an antique store. This was probably when person bought this Beanie Baby, they might initially said, oh, geez, that's going to be a really great investment there. So I picked that up like for $11. Even the case is fairly good if you want to use it for something else.
Absolutely.
People that have their magazines stacked away there saying, oh, this is going to be worth so much then. This thing here, 1940, $12. But that includes also their markup at the store too. So what was it worth? Maybe $6 or $7.
Exactly. I told you before the show, I used to collect Sports Illustrated, and well, I subscribed, and I just kept them every year. My National Geographic, and I just had piles and piles. I never went back and referenced, especially the sports ones, right? Because what new information am I going to gather? I mean, National Geographic, I actually kind of get, but I guess, I mean, even that, right? You got to sort of be careful and pick and choose.
And would you have them, even one of them still left?
Gee, I don't think so.
See, the thing is, you might, but you don't know. You go in your basement and find out.
I promise I'll look when I get home. Let's look at some of the other things that you brought along here at the end.
Yeah, like for example, too, let's be a little bit creative. I got like a Jerry Cheevers mask there, so with a twist tie and putting it on that, it becomes kind of something different then, and pop it right behind an autographed picture then. It makes it kind of a neat little display.
Let's say you're in a position, Steve, where you've got, this ton of clutter and it's absolutely overwhelming. What's the starting point for somebody to finally start clearing things out?
You have to be realistic, too, saying that there's probably a really good chance you're not going to be able to give it away. Okay. And I've had so many people say that, too. Well, when I pass away or when I move to a smaller place, I'll give it away. Most people don't want it. It's to start with a little bit of things. And also, too, is keep like 5 kittens or cats or whatever like that then. Because it's just like, what's the difference between having 5 and 500?
Right, and where to bring them, right? Because we don't want things in the landfill, so where do you suggest people could bring some of their things?
It's really tough then. And that's where you see like antique stores just packed full of things like that too then. And it's just like you wonder, like somebody just must have cleaned out their basement because they'll put a sticker on there and that probably nobody's going to come in.
Right.
And that's taking up that store's spots too where it might have a high more.
Well, and I mean, antique stores and thrift stores, as you said, I mean, it's just aisle after aisle of trinkets. If somebody wants a workshop with you, Steve, what's the best way to get in touch?
I'm hoping I've put in a submission for the Ottawa Public Library again then. Okay. They're starting to actually take.
Terrific.
So if you consult the website and stay tuned with that, hopefully they're just starting to, and after not speaking for a while, it's nice to have things back.
We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.